Well, hello there. I'm Noah 2, welcome. This is A Road to Hell. And this is a map that really doesn't have a whole lot going on until like the end, right? So basically we're in like sort of this gross, extra wide hallway for most of this mission here. Up until we get to the find the chemical part. So beware this corner right here. Lots of zombies like to stand right there, so if you get to here and you shoot your gun, things will most certainly come sprinting after you. In Nightmare mode, all these zombies will be sprinting for the most part. This mission loves to have vehicles that typically we can climb on not be climbable. So keep that in mind, that a lot of these trucks that would give us nice verticality are just not climb-upable. Relatively easy place to loot here, right? Open up by clearing this area, loot it, do your thing. Now we can climb on top of some stuff, but we can't climb on top of these porta potties. And you probably saw right there. This map is really messy as far as crap on the ground. So I ran over here and I thought there was only like 1 or 2 zombies, but once I shot there was like 10 zombies. Just keep that in mind, that there's always more zombies than beats the eye here. But nice long hallway here. Just shoot off in the distance. Pull all the zombies towards you. Right, do the leapfrog technique where we just pull zombies that we can see. And then take that space as quickly as we can. Just move quickly, right? Because there's really not a whole lot going on here. There is potential loot and ammo spawn right here, as well as right here. This gets messed a lot right here, because a supply crate can spawn right there, and people always, I think, run past it. Because once you get to this point, like, you can almost not see the supply crate. Again, just more stuff we can't climb on top of. As far as holdout points go, note the zombies passing to try and get us.
Have to try another way.
And that he doesn't, right? So this map's a little wonky as far as, like, there's all this fence that's barbed wire, but, like, some of it they just climb over, some of it they don't. So it's not super obvious as to where things are safe or not. So once we're here, just assume that for the most part nothing is safe. All these fences are potential climbable points. I think some of this mush and goo is also spawn points as well. So even though we're sort of in this nice sort of glorified hallway area, there's a lot of potential as far as zombies go. And so I can't say with a huge amount of confidence where all the best holdout points are.
Well, I'm out.
But notice something like this. I think zombies can climb through here, but essentially, if you're up here and a horde is triggered, you can run back here. And if all 4 players are hard on the left here, like all hugging this wall as much as possible, the zombies that are chasing you will funnel into here. The only issue that you'll have is things spawning behind you. Thanks, game, for making my point. But essentially, to have good success in this map, don't shoot birds. Don't get grabbed by a sleeper. Just don't trigger any unnecessary hordes here, because it's always a pain in the butt. We did notice that the zombie doesn't like to... Let's see where this hawker goes. There you go. I don't know where the zombies like get despawned here, right? But just keep that in mind, right? There's some more interesting, not so maybe so clear ways that the zombies are getting in. So there's no real like clear-cut nice place to spawn. More stuff we can't climb on top of, though it looks like we should be able to. Right. So this first half here, when we're just sort of working our way up, not a whole lot of holdout spots that are very obvious or clear, or relatively nice. Like, all of them sort of look like that spot where like something does kind of spawn close, but one player could sort of deal with it.
Over there.
A medicine cabinet can spawn on this, like right here, I'm pretty sure. Or no, I'm sorry, not pretty sure. I know that a medicine cabinet spawns here. You need to stop using the not so confident verbiage.
Let's just get this over with.
I've been playing a different game that has F as its use key, so I keep punching instead of hitting the E key. Probably just swap the keys for that. There's of course loot in this area as well. There's loot spawns right here. And typically nothing over here. All these rips and tents and things like that are, again, potential spawn points. But now that we're in these tents, all of a sudden we sort of have a confined space. We have areas now that we can hold out at. The issue is this. We're looking for a room like this that doesn't have any rips or tears in it. And a lot of this mush can be spawn points, but some of this mush is negated if we're standing next to it or have vision of it. And a good rule of thumb, in Nightmare mode there's almost always one of these rooms with a sleeper. And I find that that room with the sleeper is almost always a holdout point for some reason. Let me know in the comments if you find otherwise. But when you loot these rooms, as quickly as you can. As far as I know, there's technically a little bit of RNG as far as the pathing goes here. I can't recall. I always get mixed up here.
This one of your setup questions?
Again, not a great room to hold out in because this mush and this tent, things will crawl through that crap.
One way or another. We just gotta make sure it's our way. Blocked.
Just do our thing. You can see right there. Oh, dirty. Dirty. Like, this room wouldn't work as a holdout point because of that reason. You would think. And I tricked you there. I find that if you're in this room, nothing will spawn out of this mush. But, I don't know. It doesn't feel safe. Nothing feels safe here.
Defibrillator here.
This way.
Nothing feels safe here. Beware birds that like to be right there. And so this map is sort of strange in that, like, almost all of the map is like this width, like tent width length, even when we're approaching this tent area. It's all relatively hallway-esque, like extra big extra big hallway. But there's strangely not a whole lot of great holdout points here. Oh well. And now this is it. This is where we actually get some mechanics going on. We got some strats that we can do to make our lives easier. And things like that. Nightmare mode, you need 3 chemical containers.
Should be able to find the chemicals nearby.
And once we drop down, a horde is triggered. We get a trigger card added.
Should have guessed.
And it's tall boys. Crap, that's like worst case scenario. What mutation you get is random. You sort of hope for like Stinger. That's best case scenario, I think. Just because Stingers are so much easier to kill. We'll let the bots deal with this. The only big thing here that we need to be concerned about is our grenade economy before we get to the final trick here in this mission. I should have talked about that earlier. We need to have like 2 or 3 grenades when we get to the thing, whatchamacallit. We need to have 2 or 3 grenades by the time we get to the button doors, to the running part of the mission. So now that we're here, chemicals.
Look, over there.
The chemical spawn right there. Chemicals can spawn, I think, on this side as well.
Someone was having fun.
Nothing we can do now.
Beware zombies in these rooms. They'll climb over this and flank you. But we can enter here. And a chemical can spawn right here, but I wanted to mention that this is a relatively okay room to hold out in. From my experience, even though they can obviously and clearly climb this up, climb up this, for some reason they don't climb this
They'll be
fence.
back.
They run through this. So this is potentially a good holdout spot because a lot of like wretches and hawkers will
Do you see that?
prioritize aiming at you through here, and they'll hit the fence and not hit you. Sort of a neat thing. So that's the two
Going into the building.
chemical spawns in there.
Something. Got it.
There's another chemical spawn. A chemical can spawn right here. Now, unlike our blue tent area, this yellow tent area, both this tent and I'm pretty sure this tent as well, these are both great holdout points. Don't be fooled by that guy spawning right there. You can bait out a tall boy attack and sprint jump away, but it's a risky play. The chemicals can spawn right there. Right, chemical can spawn right there. As well as I think somewhere in here. But then also in this room as well. Beware the birds. Now as far as this being a double toolkit room, I would say you really don't need two toolkits. I mean, there's 3 alarm doors anyways. Notice that the horde broke down that door. For the most part, we can just do this
Everyone's still in one piece?
to try and get a zombie to break the door open for us.
Ammo for you.
See if we can get it here.
Here's ammo for you. Hey, you want ammo or what?
Gonna see what's
And
in
as soon as
here.
the zombie punches the door, it's no longer alarmed. Oh, he shot me through the wall. Look at that. Well played. All 3 of these little huts are great holdout points.
Check your fire.
Oh, so I'm to blame?
Now, one thing about these special hordes and us triggering the alarm door, normally you can stack hordes together, right? You can stack hordes together, and some of the alarmed hordes will get eaten up because the game can only support so many resources. The key thing to note here is that mutation hordes and the common zombie hordes, which is triggered by this alarm door, don't stack in that way. So if you were to shoot this alarm door as the tall boy horde was spawning, you'd have both zombies and tall boys. You would notice that. You notice that when our tall boy horde triggered, it was only tall boys, and that'll be true for the most point. I shot this door though before the tall boy horde happened. With the December update, so before the December update,
You could give me a hand here.
when you did that, and this common zombie horde finished, the timer for the incoming horde here would be at exactly what it was before. It was at 20-ish seconds. But I triggered this zombie horde,
Got it.
That's everything.
and it added an extra 30 seconds to our tall boy horde timer. Oh.
There! Reeker!
Okay, we don't have time for this. Right? So if you have like a tall boy horde or something that's like, oh crap, like this is going to be really hard to deal with. We're running out of grenades,
Fuck no. All clear.
right? But we can kill zombies real easily. You can shoot an alarm door on purpose to add 30 seconds to your mutation timer. So when we look at it from that light, this is an extra minute and a half of time where we don't have to deal with mutations, a mutation horde. So in fact, shooting these alarm doors can be a good thing. Stack up like you're in the military or a SWAT team, all 4 of you.
Over there.
Shoot open a door, get inside, fight off the horde, no big deal. It's just common zombies, you're in a confined space. 30 seconds added to your mutation timer. Easy peasy. So clearing
There.
these doors at the right time can essentially You can pretty much do this area if you move fast enough and you time your alarm doors correctly. That you won't ever need to fight a mutation horde in this area. All you have to fight is zombies and the occasional mutation that spawns randomly, you know?
Gonna check the car.
Nice big open area. We are about to get to a toolkit room, so if you're tight on money,
Through here.
would be a good thing to loot. Here is like what you would think to be a decent holdout point, but things will
Something
climb
there.
over this and drop down.
Flashbang here.
Mine.
Steady here.
There's just some weird verticality here that's going on here. Here's our
Got a
toolkit room.
stash here.
So beware this area. Zombies in here, zombies in here, zombies left and right. I've seen it happen to other people. It's also happened to me. You run out here and you go, oh crap, and you get killed.
Not today, motherfucker.
Keep in mind that purple weapons spawn in this room. There can be like 4 or 5 different purple weapons potentially. If you have weapons, this is like a good map for weapon scav because this room will be filled with nonsense.
Something's off. I can feel
Beware
it.
this
Dead end.
sleeper,
Like my life.
Thought I saw something over there.
just like that other sleeper I jumped into. Alright, this is a holdout point for the most part, right? This is a nice wall against our back. So I've seen plenty of people, a horde gets triggered and somebody jumps into this corner so that they can hold off and they get grabbed by the sleeper. Beware. Be wary of such. Get our loot, get our crap together.
What's that?
SMG
First
here.
aid cabinet.
This will fix you right up.
Don't want that on the LMG. Get healed up and etc. Yeah. So a nice bit of
See you on the other side.
tech that we can do. Keep in mind that you can shoot through these tents.
I want them.
It's kind of interesting that this game has bullet pen
Fuck this shit.
and then penetratable
I'm
surfaces
going
like
this way.
that.
Watch out! Hawker!
Reloading.
Need that.
But essentially, this mission is all about... I'll do a recap at the end, but at this point, we just need to have grenades. With
Something's
this.
not right.
Double sleeper can spawn here. Sleeper can spawn here or here. Yeah, they got rid of the punching in the back, at least in training.
Yep. Here's your human nature at its finest.
We didn't know what we were dealing with. None of us did. They tried their best in unimaginable circumstances.
There's no one left to make an excuse for. Or haven't you noticed?
We did everything we could.
I'll let them stop talking.
Sometimes that's not enough.
Open that
Prison
gate.
these zombies. Like, zombies don't like to climb over here. This is why we have grenades. You're just gonna open it up. As far as I can tell, there's no real good strategy other than just brute forcing, blowing things up in your path. And you just run. And this is why we have grenades.
Incoming! Over here! Fuck you!
Good punching is going to be critical. The fact that we have exploder head zombies is actually really nice.
Get down!
Cover me. Reload.
And just keep in mind what side of the gate opens on, because then you want to just squeeze your way through as quickly as possible.
I'm like a reverse thief, but just
Take these.
me.
But do me a favor and walk our back.
We're just chilling, right? I would say more important than getting on the minigun is getting the door open. Because the door has a delay time as far as being closable. And then interestingly enough, if you have like hired gun on or something like that, like this all of a sudden becomes an incredible place to farm the last bit of your hired gun. To farm the last bit of all your money.
This is Rover 2.
Nonsense
We've
stuff,
reached
right?
The lab. Repeat, we've reached the lab. Copy.
Good.
Stand here, farm your hired gun or whatever,
Delicate
and close your
procedure, but
door.
straightforward enough.
And that's it. That's obviously much harder in nightmare mode because if you make a mistake, you get killed. that's a point in the mission where you need a couple of pipe bombs, ideally 1 or 2, and then 2 or 3 grenades. And that's a point where you go, man, I just hope one of us makes it, right? But just to recap, really no good holdout points on our approach to the blue tents. We just make do with what we can, don't trigger alarms, just be 360 vigilant, because it's not like spawns are all around you, but there's just a lot of spawns that can flank you. Once you get to the blue tents, there are a couple of rooms that you can hold out in. Be wary of any mush or rips in the tents because they're all potential spawn points. Once we get to the find the 3 chemical part, the mutation horde is random. Shooting the alarm doors will add 30-ish seconds to your mutation horde timer. So, loot the open area, right? Loot that first part, that dark labs with the cages in it. Loot that part first, right? Really quickly. Look for the chemicals. Go into the yellow tents, maybe. Look in there. Look real fast, right? Be as quick as you can. Once the timer for the horde to show up is getting low, shoot one of the alarm doors, right? Get all 4 players to one of those alarm doors before the timer triggers, and then break open the door. A normal zombie horde will be spawned. Get inside the building you just broke open. Easy enough to hold off with the confined space. Is there a chemical in here? No. Move on to the next door. The trigger to end the mutation card horde is once you get all 3 chemicals, there's that gate that opens up into the helicopter area. Open up that gate and you need to walk forward like 5 meters, and that'll trigger the horde to end. And then you're good to go. Get your toolkit room going. Slow play to the gated area. All 4 players to the gate. Beware birds and sleepers, etc. And then just, if you have 2 or 3 grenades, 2 or 3 pipe bombs, that gated run area is pretty much free. And yeah, that's it. That's Road to Hell. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the future.